Hello, everyone. This is Tom Miller with another edition from our What Great Principles Do Differently. We're talking about Chapter 7, Teach to Teachers. I've got two great stories about when I was a principal, about teaching to teachers. And what this chapter has really made me realize is that teachers do the best that they know how to do, right? So when I was a principal, I didn't have that awareness at all. I was not even close that teachers do the best that they know how to do. And unfortunately, it was probably the cause of the majority of the turnover that I had as a principal. And turnover is very expensive and costly, not only through actual money, but also time and just emotional time. Emotional intelligence. It's really exhausting to reteach. So I remember this teacher that we had who replaced one of our stronger educators, and she was responsible for teaching Algebra 1 and a few of our high-level math courses in 8th grade. And because we basically assumed that, she should be able to do it because the kids are so high. The kids are high flyers and they worked really hard. But it was amazing, after 2 months, most of the students stopped doing their homework and they really stopped producing. And we couldn't figure out why. I mean, obviously, when we went in and did our daily walkthroughs, the classroom wasn't where we wanted it to be, but we would have never thought that the students would have also risen to the level of their teacher's ability, right? So what I've come to realize is that, when you walk through class by class and you see the difference in the management and content and passion, everything that's going on that you want in the classroom, and you walk to the next class and it doesn't quite have that feel, it's because teachers will rise, everybody in your organization will rise to the level of their training. Everybody rises to the level of their training. So when you avoid a teacher's classroom because you know it doesn't look very well, and I'm only saying that because I would avoid certain classrooms because I just didn't, I just assumed, my faulty assumptions were jumping into that they're lazy or just incompetent or whatever that might be. Instead of, it should have been, this is the best that they can do. Remember, we've talked about leadership lids. So if your teacher is not very equipped, they are the lid on the ability of that class. So at the time, that teacher who did not have the training that all of our other math teachers had for not only that year but previous years, she was capping the ability of that class. Even though these students were the high flyers, they were okay with just getting to this bare minimum. It turned in from a high flying class to basically a status quo class. It was an eye-opening experience for me. And then on another level, we had this incredibly talented teacher, and I'll never forget the story when a parent called me on a half day on a Friday before spring break when we were doing benchmarks, and why we were doing benchmarks on a half day before spring break, that's another story. He called me early in the morning to say, do I really need to come to school today? Does my son need to come to, he's saying that if he doesn't come, he's going to let down the teacher because they're taking some test. And the parent had like a 45-minute drive and school was only 3 hours. So, I mean, I understood what she was saying. And I just said to her, I said, ma'am, I just want you to hear your words. Your child, who has not always been successful in school, is begging you to take him to school to take a test so he can show how much he has learned this year from his teacher, right? I mean, what a difference, right? You're talking about one teacher who the highest level kids completely stopped working, to another teacher where the lowest students were excited about taking a Scantron benchmark. Why was that, right? Well, one of them got to study under Lucy Calkins at Columbia University and had all this incredible experience and development and opportunities. And then the other teacher was basically a first-year teacher who was she was a lateral entry, right? I mean, they will raise to the level of their teaching. So it's really important that you build opportunities in your school. I would love to share with you a program that we had. It was a critical friends group, and this was an opportunity for, I paired teachers in threes, and they would be responsible for the month for observing each other, right? Getting into each other's classrooms. But they do it in partners. So say it's me and two other teachers. So me and teacher number 2, we would go observe teacher number 3. And teacher number 3 would give us an idea of what they wanted us to observe. While we're in there, the two of us, we're collaborating as we're observing, watching us teacher. The next week, teacher number 3 and I go into teacher number 2's room. We do the same thing. And then teacher 2 and 3 come and see my classroom. And at the end of the 3 observations in that month, we sit down as a team and we collaborate about what we saw, okay? And then as we're doing this, there was actually 2 other sets of teachers doing the same same thing. So there was 9 teachers total in our critical friends group. So after that month was over, we would all switch partners. So by the end of a 3 to 4 month cycle, you could basically get into 8 other teachers' classrooms and have 8 post conferences with your colleagues. It was a great opportunity. It's called a critical friends group. Reach out to me if you want to learn more about it. Tom@leaders-building-leaders.com. I hope this session was valuable to you. And remember, it works if you work it. So don't just be about good intentions. Be focused on intentional action and make tomorrow better by getting a little bit stronger today. Thanks and have a great day.